of the lecture for this topic. Because to explain about the inflation, we are going to use the AS and AD curve. Okay. So again, AD is aggregate demand and AS is aggregate supply. To be specific, SAS is the short run aggregate supply and LAS is the long run aggregate supply. Okay. So when we want to, when I explain about the determinants, it means that I'm going to explain about what are the factors that will shift the AD and AS. I mean, for this one is AS to the left or to the right. So then I'm going to introduce you with the AD curve. Okay. So the AD curve and the what are the factors that will shift the AD to the left and to the right. So for the AD, we don't have short run and we don't have long run, the AD curve. Okay, we just have only one AD, right? And later after that, I'm going to explain about the equilibrium. So similar to the microeconomics previously, when we learn about the demand and supply and the efficiency, if you still remember, we have the demand curve, we have supply curve, and then we have the equilibrium. Okay, the E point that we have previously. So it is just similar to that one. Okay, but only the difference is this is macroeconomics. Okay. All right, and then all this, the last one, explain how real GDP and the price level are determined and what causes growth, inflation, and cycles. So this is related to the changes. I mean the changes of AD, SAS, or LAS. Okay. All right. Oh, lupa. Okay, I'm going to record. Okay, let us start. So for this, so I already also okay now. So the AS is the aggregate supply. So if you remember our supply curve under microeconomics, which is it is upward sloping from left to right. Okay. Kalau you ingat lagi, kalau supply dulu last time, it is upward sloping from left to right, which is it tells us that there is a positive relationship between price and QS, quantity supplied. Okay. But now, when we learn under macroeconomics, we still have the supply curve, but then you have to remember that macroeconomics is an economic analysis as a whole. So we are not referring to certain type of product. So in microeconomics, what we have is supply curve for certain types of product. For example, supply curve for orange, supply curve for burger, supply curve for fried chicken. So that is the supply curve in microeconomics, which is we are referring to certain types of goods or services or product. Okay. Under macroeconomics, we know that it is an economic analysis as a whole, meaning that the supply that we are referring now is we aggregated all. I mean, we look the analysis all types of goods and services. Okay, so because we are analysis the production as a whole, so we are not referring only one type of product. So therefore, um, the GDP itself tells us about the if you remember the definition of GDP, the gross domestic product. So this is GDP in the full name. It is called gross domestic product. So in order to calculate GDP, okay, we have three approach. If you remember lah, so I'm not sure you still remember with this terms or not, but I'm going to explain very little for you just to recall, for you to recall. Okay, so the definition of GDP is the total the market value, not total market value for product or market value for goods and services produced in a certain year in a certain country. Okay, so you can imagine that, for example, in Malaysia, we have so many types of product. So we are going to calculate the market value of all of these products and services to become GDP. So there is a formula or there is a format how to calculate GDP. So if you want to know this further, you can Google. Okay, but for now, enough for you to know that GDP is represent the total quantity that firm produce in a certain period of time. Okay, okay. So now, the price. So we still have the real GDP similar to the QS that we have previously. It is represent the horizontal axis. Okay. For the vertical, last time under microeconomics, we have P. So P is price for fried chicken, the price for orange. But now we still have P, but it is not only one P. Okay, remember we have inflation, the concept of inflation. And so now we know that the price also must cover all goods and produce and all goods and services produced in a certain type of period. Okay, so now we are using price level, right? The price level means that the price and average price for a basket of goods. So in a basket, you should imagine that we have a lot of goods, so many types of goods in a basket. Let's say that we are going to calculate the average price for stationery, for example. No, not stationery. We want to report about the average price of the average price of um, cooking oil. Okay, so now we have a lot of brand under basket. Or we want to calculate the average price of food. So now in Malaysia we have a lot of food. So in a basket we put in all types of food, and then we calculate the average price. So the price on average of that basket, or the average price of that basket of food is price level. Okay, that is the simple way for you to understand. But I'm going to I come back this later when once I want to explain to you about the inflation. Okay, I have not yet explained to you the inflation concept. Okay, so now so you so I already explained that we have two types of aggregate supply curve. So we have a long run and we have short run. Okay. So this is what I mentioned just now. Sometimes we call it as LRAS, and sometimes we call it as LAS. Okay, depends. Okay. If I give you a set of questions that use LRAS, it is also acceptable. Okay. So same goes to the short run. SRAS also similar not similar. It's also same as SAS, short run. Okay, the R is missing over here and the R is missing over there, but then still the same. Okay, for this slide we are using LAS and SAS. Okay, the original slide. But previously we used to use this one, LRAS or SRAS. Okay, all right now. So this is how does the long run aggregate supply looks like, which is it is perfectly inelastic. Okay, so what does it mean? Okay, so this is the long run. So it is different from the short run. The short run aggregate supply or SRAS curve is similar to the supply curve that we had before, which is it is upward sloping from left to right. So this one, let me show to you. Okay, this is the SAS or SRAS, which is similar to the supply curve that we learned before. Okay, which is upward sloping from left to right. And this one is the long run. so over here is the potential GDP. So how are we going to what does the LRAS represent? So this is already tells you in the long run the economy will always produce a full employment, a real GDP or potential GDP. So this is our limit. Okay, QN is our limit. If no, this is our limit and this is our objective. This is good. Okay, this is what we aim our economy to be. Okay, because we already use all our resources efficiently. Okay, so you can imagine that. Let's say that we have 10,000 graduated in accounting that unemployed. Okay, unemployed. Let's say that we have, let's say that in Kedah, we have new, this is new, graduated, new student, who, not new student, the new batch of new, new accounting method. Not the existing. Okay, this is what. Let's say that we have an invention, and then we create another people graduated with special accounting degree. Okay, so let's say we have 10,000, which is produced by UUM, University Utara Malaysia. So the 10,000 is the one that we aim to be employed. Okay, so if we reach here, it means that we are fully utilize all the 10,000 students that have special accounting degree. Okay, all right. So this is just to let you understand the concept of fully utilize all the resources. Okay, so this is what we call as GDP. So if our economy reach here, so meaning we are fully we are utilize all of the including human resources. That is full employment, okay, full employment, comma, and potential GDP. Okay, there's no real GDP over here. This is mistake. Okay, so the potential is what we aim our economy to be. Okay, so this is long run. So now this is short run. So in the short run, it tells the positive relationship between level and the real GDP. Okay, so when price level increase, real GDP also increase. Okay, therefore the SAS curve is upward sloping from left to right. Okay, all right now. So this is one of the reason why does the LAS shift and why SAS shift, okay, to the left or to the right. So so the factors that will affect LAS different from the factors that will affect SAS. Okay, so the factor that will affect LAS curve is only these three, okay, which is related to the capacity or the availability of resources lah. Okay, so like just I mentioned before, this one, okay, this is what we have now. You can imagine now this is our limited resources that we have. Okay, so the LRAS can shift to the right over here or shift to the left over there. Okay, so when it shifts, why does it shift? So if LRS shift to the right over here, you can imagine now that our potential GDP is increasing, meaning that we have more resources. Okay, so if we uh, detail the resources that we have, so this is the resources that we are uh, that I mentioned just now. Okay, so we classified it into three types of resources over here. This is human resource. This is human. This is capital, and this is technology. Okay, so we are facing this. So, we didn't say that an increased technology. We say that an advanced technology. This is a positive impact to the economy. So we have an increase in the full employment quantity of for example, for now, we already banned foreign to come to Malaysia to work here until let's say that until December. Okay, we already started to ban foreign worker to come to work in Malaysia. Okay, so if this happen, then we that can you hear my voice? Because I have a message that there's a problem with the network. Can you hear? Then if you can hear, then I can proceed. Can you listen to my voice? Yes, okay. All right, now back to this one. Okay. So the situation that I explained just now, when we say that, oh, foreign worker cannot come to Malaysia until December. So now we can imagine that we will facing with maybe sekat-sekat tu lah. Dekat UUM. I'm in UUM right now. So UUM internet. Okay. I'm not sure what happened. All right. Okay, back to this one. Okay, now. So just remember that the factor that will shift LAS and the factor that will shift SAS is different. Okay. So the only factor that will shift LAS is only these three, which is it is related to the availability of resources. Okay. So the first one is an increase in the full employment quantity of labor. So this it means what? This 1, 2, 3 will shift LAS to the right. Okay, because remember, if anything that bring increasing in anything, any curve will shift to the right. Okay, kalau mau meningkat tu maksudnya kelok akan ke kanan lah. Right. So this is increase, this is increase, this is advance. So meaning that the LAS will shift to the right. Okay. So an increase in the full employment quantity of labor means that the availability of labor that we have uh, increase. Okay. So this is good. We have more human resource. Okay. An increase in the capital also will bring the LAS to the right and also in the advance in technology. So can you guess what are the factors that will shift LAS to the left? Huh? Anybody? Who can give me the answer? What are the factors that will shift LAS to the right? Sorry, to the left. Economic problem? What kind of economic problem? I don't think economic decrease. Yeah, what are the factors that will decrease the resources? Why resources decrease? Huh? Anybody? Okay, I come back to you later about this one. Okay, I still want to hear what are the factors that will shift LAS to the right. No, no. Increase the price in material. This is no. Okay, never mind, never mind. You don't have to provide the answer because the answer all are wrong. Okay, so I come back to this later. So now, so this is all three specifically, okay, to explain why LAS shift. Okay. This one is to the right lah. If you refer to these three given, we'll shift LAS to the right. Okay. Okay. Now we go to the what are the factors that will shift SAS? Show you. I show you the factor first. Okay. Oh, so this is how the factor that will shift SAS. Okay. This is what you answered just now. The price, the increase in price in material. Okay. A decrease in resources. So it is all related to this one. So now the first one is changes in money in wages and other factor prices. So wages. So actually factor price, the price of factor, the price of resources. Okay, the factor price over here referring to the price of resources. Let's say that we know that we have 4 types of resources. We have land, we have labor. Okay, still remember land, labor, what else? Entrepreneur, and another one. What it is? We have land, labor. Hurry up. Land, labor, entrepreneur. Another one. Capital. Yep, capital. Okay. So we have 4 types of resources. Okay. So how are we going to pay labor? We give them income, and the types of so we give them income. We called which we call as the wage rate. So the wage is also referring to the factor price. Okay, but for this slide, just to differentiate, this is referred to the human, and this is not human. Okay, same goes to the entrepreneur. They also get wage. Okay, the one that which is not human, which is material, is labor. Sorry, is land and capital. Okay, so that's why we call it other factor prices. Okay, for example, let's say that we have a building, rent that we have to pay, and then what else? For the capital, the what we pay? The what else? The cost of the cost for apa tu? Borrowing money for certain types of capital. Macam itulah lebih kurang. Okay. So each of the resources has its own charges lah, or price. Okay. So these two, the second is tax and subsidy. So this is referring to the government intervention. So government will collect tax, and also government will give subsidy. Okay, same as when we learn about the factors that will shift supply curve long time ago. Okay, and next is the productivity. So productivity also will shift the AAS curve. Okay. Not last. Next is supply shock. So we have 2 types of supply shock. We have positive and we have negative supply shock. Okay. I'm not sure if I have explained about the supply shock on our next slide. Okay. But the positive supply shock means that, oh, suddenly we found new resources, something like that. Okay. That is a positive, which is it will give good impact to the production. Okay. Negative supply shock means that that one. Okay, Azim, natural disaster and war is for the negative supply shock. Okay, that one for negative, which is we are facing with a difficulty and difficulty in availability of resources. Okay. Next is the interest rate and the number of suppliers. So this is very easy. I mean, I don't have to explain. You can read from our next slide. Okay, the one that I'm going to show to you is the equilibrium. So now, as long as you understand this, all 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 are the factors that will shift SAS or SRAS. Okay. And when we talk about this, the factor that will shift SAS, you have to remember that every time when so now back to this one. Okay, this one. Okay, now this one for the long run first. So every time when we when there is a changes in LAS curve, let's say that we have LAS curve shift to the right. Okay, let's say that we have LAS curve. Where is it? This one, shift to the right. Okay, each time when LRAS curve shift, SRAS also will shift with the same direction as LRAS. Okay, let's say the LRAS shift to the right. So SRAS also shift to the right. It will follow. I will show it to you later. Okay, but if we have the factors that will only affect SAS, then just SAS will shift. LRAS remain there unchanged. Okay, so let's say we have this too. Let me use this one. Okay, this one. Okay, this one. So we are going to use this together. Okay, so if you want to tell us about the short run equilibrium, then we are referring to the SAS with the AD. If we are referring to the long run equilibrium, then you have to refer to the LAS together, SAS together with the AD. Okay, so let's say this is without AD. Okay, okay now. So we have a factors. Let's say that we have factors that will shift SAS. Sorry, LAS. Okay, and the factors will shift LAS to the right like this to LAS1. Okay, so SAS also will shift to the right. So this is right. Okay, this is your right. Up here is your left. Okay, and therefore this is this is not yet equilibrium. This is the point that will we use to show that we are moving forward to achieve long run equilibrium. Okay, right now. So this is all the factors. You can read by yourself. This one I'm not going to explain, but this is very easy. Okay, similar to the supply when we learned under microeconomics previously. So let's say that I'm going to explain this. So the wage rate is decreased. And this is the price of non-labor inputs. This is productivity, and this is the positive supply shock. Okay, this is negative supply shock. This is positive supply shock. So let me show you using my. Oh, I have to. And sorry, I have to. Can you see? Can you see this one? Or it becomes blank or black. I'm changing. Blank. Okay, I have to stop sharing. Then I have to start sharing again. Okay, now never mind. Okay, stop share. I'm going to share my word. I'm going to draw it for you, okay? Now you can see, isn't it? Confirm you can see. Okay? So let me draw for you. Oh, lama tak melukis kat whiteboard. I miss drawing. Okay, let us change this to black. I need black. I need black color. Okay. And then we copy je lah. We copy and then we paste. So this one we bring it here to become the okay. So this is price level over here. Let me try. Eh. Okay, this is price level. Okay. And that. Eh. The real GDP. Basically I'm using never mind, just real GDP, okay? I don't want you to be confused right now. So this is price level and this is real GDP. So I'm going to draw the other two. Please, again. Okay. So this is the SAS. This is the LAS. This is not yet. Okay. So can you see? So this is become LAS. This is SAS. Okay. All right. So we know that this is. I need another one. So this is P E. Basically, I'm using Y previously. Let me use Y, okay? So, however, you should understand that the Y over here is referring to the real GDP. All right, this is Y. Hi, Dashini. All right, so this is without AD. We have not yet full in a full equilibrium, okay? Because we don't have the AD curve. But just want to let you know that what will happen if there's changes in the factors that we already know, all the factors that will shift SAS and the factor that will shift LAS. Okay, now let's say that, for example, number one, that we are facing with an advance in technology. Okay, so we know that in advance in technology will shift LAS to the right. Okay, so this is our new LAS. Okay, so let's say this is 0, this is LAS1, okay, this is SAS0. Right, and if we have AD, then this is the equilibrium, but now we don't have AD, okay? So it will not end here. This is not the ending. I mean, you know that previously this is the point where LAS is same as SAS, okay? But now when we want to analyze what will happen to the PE or to the YE if LAS shift. So the shift for LAS, the reason for this one is because we are facing with an advance in technology. Okay, so we know that we think that this is the point where we will achieve the new PE and new YE. But then you have to remember, I already mentioned just now, when the long run shift, the SAS also shift. It will follow what happened to the LAS. If LAS shift to the left, then SAS also shift to the left. But now LAS shift to the right. So now the SAS also must shift to the right. Okay. Okay. So we can say now, let's say that we have, if you want to spot the new equilibrium, it should be over here. There. Okay. Because both shift to the right. SAS right. All right. But if we identify factors that will only shift SAS, LAS remain unchanged. Okay, so let's say that we say that there's an increase in the productivity. So when productivity increase, SAS will shift to the right. So that's it. LAS not change. Okay, so there's no more this curve. Change. Okay, if we are facing only if we are only facing with a factor that will only shift or will only change the SAS curve, right? Okay, now so the point here is you must know to differentiate what are the factor that will shift LAS and what other factor will shift SAS. Okay, otherwise you get wrong answer. All right. Okay. Okay, now when okay So I think you can read by your own self all the factors that will shape SAS. I hope. Let's say we use the second determinant, the tax and the subsidy. So tax, logically with tax, firm will facing with an increase in the cost with tax. If government impose tax, the cost for production will increase. So we're not referring to one producer. We are referring to the all producers. So with tax, it will burden the supplier, and therefore SAS will shift to the left. Okay. With subsidy, which is good, subsidy helps to reduce the burden, to lower down the cost. So now, if government impose or increase subsidy, SAS will shift to the right. Okay, right. So I think the rest you can read by yourself. Okay. Okay. Now, so so okay, I explain DAD now. Back to the PP to the PowerPoint. Okay, so this is the factor that will shape SAS or SRAS. Okay. All right, this is I already explained. I don't need to explain. Okay, now we move to the AD. So the AD, before I explain the AD, I have to explain about the fundamental first. Okay. Okay, let me share another one. I'm going to use this one. I'm going to use Nurul masuk keluar apa Nurul? Internet teruk ke? Where is it? Hmm? Here. Hmm? Can you see this one? Okay, this is just for you to this is just a revision for you. Okay, before I start with the AD, I want to explain this. All right, if you remember that about the GDP just now I mentioned before, it is the market value of goods and goods and services that produced in a certain year in a certain country. Okay, so we have three types. Sorry, not three approach how to calculate GDP. So we have consumption approach. We have we have income approach. We have expenditure approach, and we have another one, value added. I'm not sure. You can refer to the any notes if you have. Okay. But the most important thing that I want to emphasize is on the expenditure approach. Okay. So because this is because the so this is so from the expenditure approach, so we are going to identify um, types of expenditure done by various sectors. Okay. So basically, if we have a small sector in economy, okay, why? Sekejap ya. Ini untuk like APPNIED. Okay, now we have only two sectors. Okay, I hope you remember this. So which is we have household and firm. Okay, and then we don't have medium sector. We have sector which is we have three sector if government start to intervene the economy. So now because we have three sectors, we have household and firm, and also plus government. Okay, right? So this is three sectors. So the biggest sectors is the four sectors. Okay, four sectors consist. So for four sectors, this is open economy. So this is bigger. Okay, which is now we have export and import. We have international trade. So instead of these three, we have another one, which is now we open our economy to a foreign country. So it involves export and import. So now we have international trade. This is the topic that I'm not going to teach. Okay, international topic. I just mentioned this. Okay, we have special topic for this one, but then I think I'm not going to teach on this topic. So this is small sectors. The smallest is 2, and then the biggest is 4. So each of these sectors has their own expenditure. Okay, household has its own expenditure. Firm also has its own expenditure. Government and also international trade. So now the expenditure approach. So when we talk about the expenditure approach, means that we are going to calculate GDP using expenditure approach. Okay, which now if we want to identify what are the expenditure done by household, but we only classified this as consumption. Okay, all the expenditure done by household is known as consumption. This one. Okay, the green one. This is consumption, or in other words, the symbol is C, which is this is represent expenditure by household. Okay, for firm, the expenditure by firm is known as investment, which is we're using as I. Okay, and then the government expenditure by government is government expenditure, which is the symbol is G. Okay, so I hope you still remember about the government expenditure. I already explained about this, the government expenditure. So this is our fiscal policy. Okay, the government expenditure is one of the fiscal policy. Okay, now the last one is international trade. So international trade involves what? Export and import. Okay. So when we are going to calculate the expenditure, the total expenditure for this one, for the international trade, what we have to do is to calculate the net export, which is it is equals to X minus M. Okay, so this is how are we going to calculate the net export. Okay, you should understand this because we are going to use this again and again when we want to analyze the factor that will shift AD to the left or to the right. Okay, so this is the component CIGX minus M. Okay, so basically we can say that GDP is equal to C plus I plus G plus X minus M, something like this. Okay, so this you don't have this in your slide, so this is only revision. Okay, I want to make your life easier. Okay, now I also did explain to you the fiscal policy and the monetary policy. Okay, this one. Remember how we are going to use this again, right? So you know that the fiscal policy, the tools for fiscal policy, we have C and G. Whereas for monetary policy, what we have is open market operation, reserve requirement ratio, and discount rate. Okay, so this is all tools under monetary policy. Okay, whereas this one is tools for fiscal policy. All right, so this is all interrelated. Okay, okay, now. So when we want to relate the the fiscal policy with the consumption, with the investment, with the government expenditure, with international trade over here, and also with the monetary policy over there. So how it will affect the AD, then you have to understand the concept one by one. Okay? Alright, now, just to let you know, when C change, of course GDP also change. When I change, GDP will change. G change, GDP also change. And this change, and this is also change. Okay? So just remember the sign. If this increase, this increase. If I increase, GDP increase. If G increase, GDP increase. If export increase, GDP increase. If M increase, GDP decrease. Okay? So, increase GDP, we can imagine now AD will shift to the right. Okay? Alright? Okay, now. The C over here, the component C over here, the I over here, the G, I and G, sorry. I, G over here, X and M over there. X, no. I and G. No, never mind. Okay, now back to the component one by one. Okay, now let's say that I'm going to explain about the C. Okay, the C over here, this is the function for C. Okay, so this is not, the function is not very important for you. I just want you to know how does the policy will affect the C. Okay, the C, okay, this one, the C, this C. All right, okay. So this is the function that we learned before under principle of economics. If you have to, if you if you registered this course before, or you learned it before, okay. So we have two part over here, according to the function. The one over here is the C, which is not depending on the income, and the one over here, which is C, is depending on the income. Okay. The income over here is not mana? Where? Oh, the other one. Okay, sorry. Not here. Not this one. Okay. Not this one. Not this one. Right. So now, so the YD over here is what we called as disposable income. Income disposable. Okay, disposable income. Disposable income. Okay. Which disposable income is equals to Y minus T. The T over here is T there. Okay, let's say the government implement or introduce certain types of tax. So it will affect that YD because Y, in order to calculate YD is Y minus T. Okay. So now we know that when government impose T means that government implement fiscal policy. If government implement an increasing in T, meaning that government implement fiscal policy. To be precise, means that government implement expansionary of fiscal policy. Okay? So now the T over here will affect the C. Okay? So how it will affect it? Because we have another one component over here, which is C, consumption is depending on the income. Okay, so that's why we call it as DYD, disposable income. So now, when T increase, actually we assume that government increase T. When T increase, YD will decrease. Okay, DRESE. E. When YD decrease, What happened to the C? C also decrease. When C decrease, so what happened to the GDP? So C decrease, GDP also decrease. When GDP decrease, you can imagine now AD shift to the left. Okay? Alright? Okay, now. So what about the rest? So the rest is where? The rest is G, I, and X minus M. Mana? Where is it? Oh, here. No. Mana? Oh, ni saya dah buat lawan tambah degree dah jadi keliru dah pula. Okay, sorry. So this is GDP plus equals C plus I plus G plus X minus M. Okay? So the I over here is investment. Okay, now we are talking about investment. Okay? So why does investment change? You have to know because the assumption will not tell, oh, I increase, then AD increase. No. Okay? So what will affect the I? R, small r, or interest rate will affect the I inversely. So what does it mean? It means that when R increase, I decrease. Okay? So what are the determinant of R? Okay, now. So we have to know that R is related to this one. Monetary policy. Okay? So let me explain one by one. Okay, so I'm going to explain about the monetary policy. Actually, which is we have three tools: OMO, RRR, OMO, RRR, and discount rate. Okay? So, for this topic, monetary policy, previously I only explained to you what will happen to the money supply. Okay? Remember not? This is related to the money SUPPLY. Okay? So money supply change will affect R. So why money supply change? Money supply change because of these three changes. Okay? So let us say that money supply increase. So what can you imagine in the OMO? Government buy or purchase bond. Okay? So what about if government use RRR, triple R? So if triple R, maksudnya to increase money supply, government reduce, decrease or reduce RRR, and also reduce or decrease um, discount rate. Okay, this is to explain what will happen to the money supply, the increasing in money supply. Okay, so when we want to explain using a diagram, which is want to reflect the R just now, I want to show you where is the R comes from. This one. Okay, so we have to use a curve. So let's say that we have this one. Okay, so this is money demand. This is money supply. Remember, money supply is always like this. Why? Because money supply is controlled by central bank. Okay? Right? This is our money supply. This is interest rate. Now this is interest rate. This is interest rate. Okay? This one is interest rate, which is similar to this interest rate. Okay. So now, this one is money lah. This is quantity of money. Okay. Tekan apa ya? Tekan tab lah. Oh, okay. This is quantity of money. Okay. Money quantity. Quantity of money. Q money. Okay, quantity of money. Alright. So now we have this. The R equilibrium. The R equilibrium is derived from the okay, when MD, this is MD, this is money demand, this is money demand, and the red one is the money supply. Okay, so when MD is equals to money supply, we get equilibrium equilibrium I. Okay. Okay. There. Right. So now, so we already do this. So this is all the factors that will increase money supply. Okay. Let's say that we know that this is our money supply, and when we say that the money supply increase, money supply curve will shift to the right with that. Okay. So now can you see what happened to the R? So the R decrease. Okay. So the decreasing in R over here will affect I here, which is it is inverse relationship. So now you know that when government want to increase the money supply, R reduce, I increase. Okay. So I increase, the increasing in I now. Here this is no more. I increase. This also increase. Then you can imagine now AD shift to the right. Okay. I'll show you the AD later. So I want you to understand this. Okay, now G is very easy. It is straightforward. Okay. So when government implement expansionary of government policy, so it means that this one is increased. Okay. 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 So GDP also increase. AD will shift to the right. Okay. What about this one? Okay, this one is export and import. So supposed to have to do with the apa tu? Foreign currency, the currency. So because I already dropped that topic, so as long as you can understand that an increase in export will increase GDP, whereas an increase in import will decrease GDP. Okay, when GDP decrease means that AD will shift to the left. Okay, okay now to finish this. So I already finished this. So I'm going to stop this and back to the slide. Mana? Okay. So this is just to introduce you how does the AD curve look like. So it is similar to the demand curve we have, which is downward sloping from left to right. We only have one only AD. We don't have short run and we don't have long run AD. Tak. So if you know that the AD curve is downward sloping from left to right, so you can straight away tell there is a negative relationship between price level and real GDP. Okay, let me show you the curve there. Okay, when P increase, increase from 90 to 100, 100 to 110, So GDP will decrease. Okay, right? Okay, now, so all the factors just now that I explained to you will shift AD to the right. Right, this is your right, or shift to the left. Okay. Okay, before we understand all the factors that will, before I go further, you understand already, isn't it? Because before I go further on the explanation about the factors, I want to explain to you about the why does the AD downward sloping from left to right. So the AD downward sloping from left to right is just to tell us the negative relationship between price level and the real GDP. But then you have to know um, if price level increase, how does it affected? How will it affected the real GDP? So macam mana? How are we going to relate these two variable? Okay, we just know that price level and GDP and real GDP are inverse relationship, but then we don't know why P increase, real GDP decrease. Okay, so in order to explain that, then you have to understand these three factors. We have wealth effect, we have substitution effect, and we have international effect. Okay, so these are three factors to explain about why does the AD curve downward sloping. Okay, the first one, wealth effect. In order to explain about the wealth effect, what I want you to always remember that wealth ni always related to the purchasing power. Okay, so you can imagine now when the price level increase, you can imagine that we are facing with an inflation. Okay, so previously you spent 200 ringgit to buy full trolley, to buy goods with full trolley. Okay, all right, and then when the price level increase, okay, you are no longer spend 200 ringgit with the same amount or same quantity of product that you buy similar as before. I mean, for example, you go to the CMart. Our friend, do you remember CMart? Okay, CMart. You go to CMart and then you in a plastic bag you buy uh, five pens, five blue pens, and then an eraser, and then your correction pen. What else? Ruler, calculator. And to buy this, you spend about, let's say, 150 ringgit. Okay. So when you come back register in UUM next year on July, for example, on July next year, you want to buy the same quantity of stationery and the same type of stationery. But then you have to pay 250 ringgit. Oh, it shows that the price level is increased. But if you still want to spend only 200 ringgit, similar what you did um, before, then you cannot buy the same quantity of stationery. So it shows what? It shows that your purchasing power is decreasing. You have become poor. You are no longer rich. Okay, so it will affect the wealth. It is related to the wealth. So we start with the we start with the P, with the price level increase. Okay, and in order to explain how does price level affected real GDP, then you have to explain what will happen to the wealth. Okay, so we start like this. Price level increase, purchasing power decrease. Wealth decrease. So when you become poor, you cannot buy the exactly same quantity as before. Quantity, yeah. So therefore, the productions drop. When the production drop, real GDP also drop. Okay, so because real GDP is to reflect all goods and services produced. Okay, all right. Okay, what about substitution effect? So same as just now when I explained that when when price increase, okay, price level increase. So now you are Malaysian, okay. This is not Chinese China, okay. You can listen, but this is I'm using example Malaysia, but it has to do with you later. Okay, now. So let's say because substitution effect, yeah. So substitution effect macam mana cerita Zat? Lupa dah. Tu dia. Sama macam, okay, sorry. Substitution effect means that, okay, I know. Because I'm confused with this one, the international effect. I explain international effect dulu lah. Okay, I explain this one. Okay. So when we international effect, so when price increase, means that we are referring to the price level domestic product. Okay. So relatively, domestic product becomes expensive compared to the imported product. Okay, because it is international effect. Okay, so let's say that we are referring to Malaysian made product. Okay, when price level increase, people from Singapore, people from China will reduce buying Malaysian product because the price level increase. Okay, so when they reduce purchase product from Malaysia, so we can imagine now that our export is decreasing. Betul tak? Betul lah, kita jual kan, export is decreasing. Okay, because this is international. So when domestic domestic goods price become expensive, our export will drop. Okay, our means that Malaysian export will reduce. So when the export reduce, of course the production also reduce, and at the end, real GDP also reduce. Okay, so when we want to relate with the import, okay, when we see that we as a Malaysian see that, Malaysian products are expensive. Let's say that we want to compare the price of our national car with imported car. Let's say that you found that our local car are so expensive compared to imported car. Subject to brand, okay? What type of car you want to drive. So let's say overall, okay, let's say that we say that local car are much more expensive compared to the imported car. So we will change our demand from local to imported car. So the production of local car will reduce, okay, will decrease. So when it's decreased, meaning that it will affect real GDP as well. So real GDP will decrease. Okay? Okay, what about substitution effect? So this one I already explained to you. This is MD, money demand. Okay? So, okay, I tell you the story, then you digest and you think, and then you try to understand. Okay? Okay, now, just now I only explained on the money supply. All the factors that will affect the money supply. I haven't explained about the factors that will affect the MD. So let me show you this one, okay? And dulu, we stop this one. We back to this one. Again, back to this one, okay? Okay, this one. Okay, this is MD. Yeah? The blue one is MD. So I have not yet explained about the MD. Okay, now we start with price level increase. Okay, so when price level increase, theoretically, MD will increase. Okay, when the price level increase, MD will increase. Okay, so this is MD. So MD we only have two factors: money demand the factors that will affect money demand, only two, which is the first one is price level, second one is income. Okay, so for the price level, it is related to this one, to this explanation that I'm going to explain now. So now, when P increase, price level increase just now, so MD will increase. So MD increase over here. What you can see now is the what call this? Interest rate, the equilibrium interest rate also increase. Okay? Okay. MD increase, interest rate also increase. Okay, back to just slide just now. Okay? Mana? Ni. Ha, okay, this one. See? MD increase, MD increase, interest rate increase. Okay? Okay, now I'm going to explain further. We back we back to diagram just now. Ah. Okay, this one. Okay. So I just want to okay. So now the MD over here is the money demand. So if you still remember that we have three reasons why we demand money. We demand money for three purposes. If you still remember, I'm not sure. The first one is for transaction. We demand money for transaction. It means that we want to go to buy something. We want to pay our rent. We want to pay our what PTPTN, whatever loan that you have. Then we want to buy our clothes. So that we are going to use money for transaction. Okay. Second purpose why we demand money is for precautionary. Precautionary means that we have our own saving. Okay, so the money we put aside for emergency or for future use. Okay, the last one is we demand money for speculation. Okay, speculative. Okay, speculative means that we use our money in order to get a return. Okay, similar like what we say that to make an investment, for example. But don't confuse investment just now. This is different. Okay, different. So we have three reasons why we demand money. The first one is transaction. The second is precautionary, and the third one is speculation. Okay, the speculation means that we are holding money because we want to get a return. Okay, let's say that we put our money in a fixed deposit. So in future, we get return from that money. Okay. All right. Now, for the transaction and for the precautionary is what we call as we hold cash money. Okay. Transaction and precautionary are holding cash money. Speculative is not holding cash money. Okay. When interest rate high, we love to demand money more for speculative because we want to get return. Okay, for example ASB lah. In Malaysia we have amanah simpanan apa Abi? Tak apalah. We have another 8 minutes. Okay, so we have so you should know the transaction and the precautionary is holding cash money, whereas the speculative is not cash money. Okay, so now. So logically, when interest rate high, we will reduce the transaction and precautionary. So let's say that you have 1,000. Okay, this is easier. 1,000 ringgit, and then you spend you spend 500 for transaction, and then 300 ringgit for precautionary, and 200 for speculative. Okay. This is what you get. 200 ringgit when you this is for your return. This is have return, the speculative. Okay, now when interest rate high or interest rate increase, you will you will put your money more for speculative. Okay, let's say that you, oh, I want to make it double, 400. But you still have 1,000, so you have to sacrifice from here and from here. So remember, transaction and precautionary is cash money. It's holding cash money. So if this becomes 400, so now this is become 200, and this is becomes 400 maybe. So equals 1,000. Okay, now, so the transaction over here is already reduced. It means what? It means that your purchasing activity, are already dropped. So if the price increase, let's say that price increase, but then you know that the interest rate is also increased, then better you put your money in fixed deposit, for example. So therefore, you have to buy. You have to sacrifice buying activity. But then you are not interested to borrow money from the bank. You are not interested, okay, to borrow money from the bank. So therefore, that's why it tells over here. Cepat-cepat lagi 5 minit. We have another 5 minutes. Here. Okay, that's why it says here that borrow less, spend less. Okay, and when you spend less, of course, the production will drop. So real GDP also drop, not DGP, GDP. Okay, drop. Okay, so I explained all, which is why does the AD downward sloping from left to right, and this is all the factors that will shift AD. Okay, I'll come back this later next week. All right. Okay. So if you have any question, then just WhatsApp me. So I think we end here. See you later next week. Okay? Alright. Ada soalan? Tak ada. Okay. Bye. For those who failed to scan just now, let me know. Bajunya keluar. Anything?